Hey, all you good people. Wow, I'm so glad that you're decided for yourself that you're gonna try and do my little challenge. I'm not, you know, here we are and I still don't even know what to call it. I guess because so many times, you see something advertised or whatever and it's, it's all hype. And everything that I'm trying to go through here is to cut through the hype. The hype about food, the hype about diets, general insincerity altogether. Because there's so much of that going on, in our food. What I'm intending on doing for this next couple weeks is, I literally put this together because there's so many topics that I've been talking about and they are all interrelated. And I thought, wow, let's just put them together with some sense of organization, some glue, should I say. But really, when you start at the beginning, it's more anybody that needs to make a change, they got to do a reality check. We all do. I just keep having my own during my own little journey that I'm been doing since November. I've been on a highly restricted diet, mostly because we were trying to get at what's causing my inflammation, which would be things that I'm allergic to, things that I'm more sensitive to. So I did all of, the big tests and all of that and found that out. But that's a commitment. That's a commitment I made to myself. Maybe you all aren't willing, able, ready, whatever to do that. You may not have realized the value in something like that. I really suggest that everybody does that at one point in their lifetime, just to get an idea of the things that they should steer clear of, or at least limit somewhat, Anyway, this reality check, we need to qualify our food. And we need to qualify our life. But so I'm going to add a little bit of the life challenge in every day with something here. And today's day one. It's Monday. And I wanted to talk to you guys about, like I said, this reality check. And I may have mentioned this before, but my kids had one of their doctors. Healthy guy. Oh my gosh. He was so cool. Dr. Wintery. And he was I guess in the 70s, he was on the U.S. volleyball team. And, you look at him, great shape, amazing. Just an awesome, all-around, positive, lovely man. Died of cancer. It's insane. He'd be one of those people you would just, because trust me, there are people walking down the street and I look at them and I go, whoa, they don't have a chance. And I hate to say that. And it's, but at the rate, it's 1 in 4 people that have a major death because of some type of food-related illness, and cancer is part of that too. So it's staggering. These statistics weren't even the same 5 years ago. So I laid the groundwork to this, and a lot of that is not about what we are, what we're not eating. Oh, you got to eat better, you got to do this. It's what we are eating, and it's the crap that's in our food that we've been just brainwashed to believe that it's there. So I did talk about this on Saturday, and it's just amazing that the biggest culprits are lack of nutrients because of our soil is just crap because we don't take care of it, and we use terrible fake fertilization. They're nitrogen-based fertilizers that are man-made rather than the old school way of, building up the soil by crop rotation. So I did speak about that at length, but between that and the influx of pesticides, I mean, billions of tons of pesticides are sprayed on all of our, crops throughout the world every year. And that is seeping into our cells, creating havoc. I just went over all of that in my last. You can always look me back up on YouTube and go to the one from Saturday. That would be Saturday the 17th. And I believe it says qualify your food. But anyway, it was a little bit about what we need to really do. And I mean, I'm not kidding. I talk about this doctor that just blew me away. And you think, how could that happen? How, I mean, this guy ate right. I mean, I cooked for these people. And, everything that they asked for was right on the line of everything that we all know in our most recent years is what's healthy to eat and what we're supposed to feed ourselves with. But I think we need to take it another level, and that's qualifying your food. The environment. It's not just your food, it's whatever touches you. Your skin will absorb anything. You got to get rid of all of those, all of those bad chemicals that are in our skin, creams and shampoo, soaps, all of my cleaning products. I changed all that out a long time ago to get rid of all of the different things that are in there. I mean, they don't need this. Chemistry is money. And so many of these manufacturers just put terrible things because they want them to be colored or smell fun, right, or whatever the reason is. It's because they want to sell more. And, unsuspecting people they just don't realize it. Like for the last 20 years, anybody sprays 409 anywhere, if I get a whiff of it, I mean, it gives me, I literally have an asthma attack, and certain things like that. There were certain WD-40. Oh my gosh, anybody that had Irish Spring soap. Oh, but I am super sensitive to things like that. And now especially more so because I haven't had them in my realm as much. So, that's kind of the trade-off. But there's something that I noticed, I'm just going to say it just flat out, yesterday. And I've had kind of like a funny tummy the last few days, and I'm not really sure why, but I've been basically on almost like a fast. I'm doing some nutritional liquid diet. And it's supervised by my doctor. And I just at one point just felt kind of hollow, my stomach hurt. And you know how you just want some kind of comfort, something. Well, I didn't have anything. And my mom had this store-bought vanilla cake. And I mean, that's like wrong on so many levels for me. I'm like, wow, what's going to make my stomach hurt worse? The fact that, or leaving it as it is, or eating this cake. Because I didn't have any rice. There was no bread for toast. I mean, whatever. So I just said, screw it. I'm just going to have half a cup of milk and a bite or two of this cake. I couldn't even swallow it. I mean, I literally couldn't even swallow it. It was like one of those 7-Up cakes that you see in Safeway or something. And I mean, I put this in my mouth and all I could taste was plastic, fake flavors, I mean, and I believe me, she's had that cake there for like 4 or 5 days, and I've just been looking at it. But, so it's not like I didn't want the cake. So I finally had a rationale why it was okay if I had a couple bites, and I spit it out. Literally, I was just like, this is crap. My body has become so sensitized to anything that's just not on the up and up food wise, that it's like, my senses just zero in on it. And so if that is true, think about, the reverse of that. There are, we get bombarded with so much stuff that our body just goes, yeah, okay, sure. It doesn't react like mine did, like my senses did yesterday. because it just gets tired and it's like, yeah, okay, bring on some more. But my body, yesterday I noticed it was just a revolt. Like, oh no, this is not okay, because it got used to being taken care of. I am getting better, even though I had a little tummy ache. I'm not really sure what that was. I have to investigate that, but it's been months and months before I haven't felt like anything like that. But so I guess what I'm saying is, if you really do take care of yourself, your body knows it and it wants that. And if you don't, it will just keep going along and not making a fuss until it's too late, until the doctor is giving you the notice, hey, your test XYZ, you're in stage 3 this or 4, whatever. So then is not the time to deal with this stuff and to learn what I'm trying to, put out there. Or maybe you do know it. Maybe just a refresher course. I know all this stuff. I've known all this stuff a long time, but it still became that much more real to me yesterday with that, with the cake incident. But, so my 2 hacks today, okay? Qualifying your food. Do this. Write down everything you eat today and look at the ingredients. Well, first of all, do you know the source of your food? Did it come from the farmer's market? Or is it organic, certified produce from the market? Or is it, grass-fed beef? Or is it, natural pork? Or are they organic eggs? Or pasture-raised eggs is even better, than organic sometimes. It's about how the animal is treated. These things, they may look like marketing, and they are to some extent. Some of it is. But if you get around those corners and you realize what's really the best thing, by doing your research, which is what you're doing right now by hearing me out. Does your product have GMOs? Okay. If it doesn't say non-GMO and it has a grain in it, it's got GMOs. All of the grains do now. They're all genetically modified because the farmers have to buy the seeds from somewhere. They're getting them from Cargill and they're getting them from Monsanto. And I believe I told you the horror story about Monsanto, who is the chemical company that derived Agent Orange. And so anyway, does it have bad oils? Okay. Palm oil, canola oil, vegetable oil, anything that says that, stay the hell away. Those oils, they're detrimental in your system. They do not help. They hurt you. We're just concentrating on things that are going to harm us, that we need to start clearing out. Okay. A couple days ago, I did a video that said, out with the bad, in with the good. Okay. That's what all of this is about. Okay. Making change of any kind is out with the bad, in with the good. Okay. So, does your product have chemicals and preservatives? I had a video a while back about reading the labels. Okay. There's so many things to know, and that's why it is a daunting task to do better for yourself. But, that's what we're going to get into. I'm going to go through a little bit about this, but I mean, if you literally sit down and think about what you're eating every time you do today, sit down, say your grace, have your gratitude for the fact that you have something to eat. When you think about it, we're blowing our chance. Look at all these people out there in the world that can't even eat. They have no access to, good food. They're stuck with whatever comes down the pike. A lot of third world countries, it's a crime. It shouldn't be that way. And here we live in the most abundant place and we have access to really good food, but we don't choose it. That's why Americans, I'm talking about Americans here. That's why Americans, 60% of Americans are obese. Not overweight, obese. That's 20 pounds or more. 60%. That is a crisis of epidemic What other crazy words can I use? I don't know. I don't just listen to the ones I hear on the news. But those statistics are absolutely frightening. And all it is it's going downhill as we go, okay? You are the only person that's going to save yourself. There's no pill. There's no diet. There's nothing that's going to save you from the terrible stuff that's really in the food. So it's just being a good consumer and learning what's going on. So anyway, so my life hack today is, qualify your food by just answering those simple questions. Do you know where it came from? Is it organic? Does it have GMOs? Does it have bad oils? And does it have chemicals and preservatives? If it does, don't eat it. Don't eat it. Go eat an apple. And hey, I love my yummy food. I love my veggie lasagna. And I'll tell you what, I made some nachos the other day. And it was grain-free, dairy-free. It was a little more carbs than what I normally go for, but it wasn't the other day. It was like 2 weeks ago. I cannot tell you, I never enjoyed nachos so much in my life. I never enjoyed, and every bite of that I knew was something that was good for me and that was not going to harm me. And sometimes, I'll make a salad that's really kind of way out there and it's sprouts and stuff like that, and things that I'm not wild about, but I'll eat it, and I'll eat it because at that point I'm eating to live. Okay, so those are the other things that you can do. Okay, every time you're sitting down, make your choice. Am I going to live to eat, or am I going to eat to live? Okay, if you start eating to live, little by little, the more and more you eat to live, then you can have your little, I don't want to call it a cheat day. Then you can have your little victory day where you say, hey, you know what? I'm going to go a little out of my box and have some chocolate cake today or whatever. Then it's not as such a big deal. But when you're drowning yourself in all of this stuff and all of that stuff, all of these foods, if they're not organic, they're steeped in chemicals. Chemicals are breaking down the lining of our digestive system, opening up a whole host of issues. This is what I talked about on Saturday. Whole host of issues that we don't even know that's going on. And we don't know what's going on until it's too late. The doctor goes, hey, by the way, you got cancer. Sorry. You have high blood pressure, you have, diabetes, you have this, you have that. All this stuff is solved by food. But it's not the food that we know. It's not the food that we've been brought up on and been eating lately. If we aren't eating organic and weeding out these bad categories. Okay, so I can't emphasize that enough. That's what this challenge is about, is qualifying your food and getting on to a path where we're just going to introduce something new every day. Okay, so my life hack today, and I've mentioned this before too, and all this stuff's going to be repetition, I guess, but is start qualifying your life. Okay, remember a few minutes back when I said, how lucky are we that we can have all this, we have access to the best food in the world. If we only know how to look for it and we choose it. Okay, there's people that don't. There's people that don't even have food. It's really so sad. But let's start qualifying your life through the parameter, the goggles. The gratitude goggles. Just made that up. But I've had to do this for my life. My life turned around and really every part of it changed abruptly, ending in a brain injury and broke my neck and got divorced. Everything, all my family unraveled. And this was all in the source of like a month or two. And problem with me is I had the brain injury, so I wasn't really cognitive of so many things, and there were a lot of things missing that I didn't even really understand what was happening. I think I was in shock too, and I didn't know how to react. I didn't know how to respond. I didn't know how to do anything. until I started really taking on the practice of gratitude, okay? And it took me a couple years to really get to the place to love myself, because I was grateful for everything in my life that I did have to be happy about, and I was grateful for who I am and who I really knew I was deep down. I just wasn't that person for so long because I just didn't figure it out, you know. And you go on in life on the top layers of the onion and you're not really yourself for a while. And reality always finds a way to bring it back to you through some type of a disaster. And that's when you sit back and go, oh, because we don't change unless there's unless we're forced to. And that's with the food thing too. You know, many people don't change their food habits until they're forced to, until the doctor goes, hey buddy, guess what? You know, proactive is, in the food sense, is so awesome, because if you've got your biology together, then all of this stuff, your emotions and your just your mind, your mental state is going to be so much better. Everybody knows that. You know, if you're not feeling well, everything can go in the crapper that day, because you just don't care. The only thing you care about is getting better. So we care about how we feel, okay? Both physically and emotionally, you know, psychologically. So the most fabulous way to improve that is through gratitude. Now, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I have an alarm. This is your hack for today. Set a gratitude alarm, okay? I've got one when I wake up. I have an alarm. Hey, it's time to get ready to go to bed. And I do my gratitude, and I go through my day. I think about what's going on, what happened today that was good. I look through something. If there was something that was bad that day, I go through it in my mind, and trust me, I did this for a long time after my life changed. I just ruminated on what was said and how that happened and what wasn't fair and what wasn't right and how crushed I was and how can that be and why would this happen, and I spent 2 years and probably just totally diminished myself where I could have been building myself up. I just didn't understand it, didn't know it. But now, when I see something that didn't happen right for me, I go through, I close my eyes, and I envision that, you know, how it started occurring, and I rewrite it in my head. There's things in your childhood that suck, that you still bring up and still are haunting you. I rewrite those things. It's called reparenting yourself. If you just would have said, oh, in that instance, you know, where, you know, I didn't make that basket and the coach yelled at me, you know, or my dad stood up and said, what the hell are you doing? He didn't. He wasn't really that way, but I'm just saying for an example, because a lot of people have trauma that they don't even realize they're carrying around 40, 50 years later that, you know, like I said, you know, if your dad said, oh, you idiot, why'd you miss that basket? So then you tell yourself you're not good enough. Somehow or another, you tell yourself that moment you're not good enough, okay? And we carry those things around, and that's our limiting belief that we need to get rid of. So if we're able to rewrite something for ourselves, our subconscious is going to listen to what we say. If we say the sky is purple, somehow or another, our mind's going to talk us into that. You know, our subconscious listens to whatever. If you say, oh, I'm dead, I'm exhausted, you know, you're going to be more tired because your brain is going to tell yourself, oh yeah, she said that we're tired, so we're tired. So let's start shutting down. So these are all the concepts that we're going to investigate in the next couple weeks. I'm just throwing tidbits out there, but gratitude. I know I've said this before. This is one of the most amazing things that I ever heard, and it was such a light bulb moment for me. When you experience a feeling of gratitude and you hold it in your heart, your head, you think about it, and you feel it and you think, oh man, that's so awesome. I look at my kids, I look at my baby girl Sid, and I think, God, she's such a beautiful girl, and she's so funny, so smart, and she has got her act together, and I am so proud of her. And I just, oh my gosh, I mean, I do that with my son too. But I've just changed all my chemistry in my brain. Woo! Today's gonna be a much better day because everything that's going on with my good chemistry in my brain, it's all been stimulated for the day, and I'm gonna have the best day ever today. And every day I do that and think of something that's amazing. Not sure why I just welled up, just probably because I'm missing my baby girl. She's in Japan and I haven't seen her in a while. But anyway, I'm just happy. These are feelings that are so unbelievable and so awesome. Everybody has them. They're down there somewhere. Pull them out and work on them, bank on them, use them so that you have a better life. Qualify your life. Set your alarm for gratitude. Here's my other little bugger that I'm grateful for. It's Paco. You guys have seen him run around in my little cooking shows. I mean, that's an easy one, Probably once a day, when that alarm goes off, I think of him, or I think of something that awesome that happened, or or something that happened that was great for someone I know. Be great. It's not just about you. It's about being grateful for this beautiful planet we live on, and all the amazing places that maybe you want to go and travel to. There's so much out there. So anyway, sorry for getting a little emotional there, but that's what it's about. We got to stop living on the outer layers of the onion and being just so anesthetized to everything out there that really matters. We concentrate. I guess my one friend, he had this saying, what was it? He said, stop majoring in the minors. Stop concentrating on, pardon my French, on the shit that doesn't matter. Think about what's real in your life. Who's real? What's real? That's what we should be spending our time on, not, on the phone with Facebook and all that crap. Albeit Facebook has its usage, but let's just say today we're going to qualify your life by setting a gratitude alarm. You're going to qualify your food by starting to really think about what it is that you're putting in your mouth. Is this good for me or bad for me? I've made that, assertion before, but let's put it into reality today. And I really wish you all the best, and go out there and have a great day.